What's up, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the book Emergence, 7 Steps for Radical Life Change by Derek Rydall. I've read this book a while ago, and I just haven't reviewed it on here yet, but I found this book out because I was researching abundance. I had read one of Jen Sincero's books, and she talked about living in abundance, and I really wanted to learn more about abundance, and I found about Derek Rydall and all the work he does around abundance, and then I read this book. And this book really introduced me into shadow work, and then that led me into Debbie Ford, because he mentions Debbie Ford in this book. So that's how I found out about all of that. But I wanted to research abundance, and that's how I found this book. And he says that he was a self-help addict, like a lot of us are that get into this niche and read all these books. And then he turned more towards spirituality and really giving into spirituality. And he's also a coach for Fortune 500 CEOs and executives. So he has a lot of experience in this area. This book is really about focusing on abundance and spirituality and becoming the most authentic version of yourself versus trying to become who other people want you to become. And that's something I really believe in. So let's get into the book. What is abundance? Abundance is a category of self-help that focuses on viewing life optimistically, because a lot of people think things are very limited. They think that they can only achieve a certain level of success or achieve certain goals in life. And it's just not the way the world necessarily works. There are limits to human capabilities, but it doesn't mean you have to limit yourself. And one of the things I think about is the stock market. The stock market has gone up consistently over time. And this is because people's main goal in life is to succeed, earn more money, do better, make things in life, create things. And there's businesses in the stock market that go out of business, that don't do well. But the majority of companies in the stock market earn money. Either that or they go out of business. And there's more and more companies every year that are creating solutions for people. And there's more wealth, and there's more resources and better ways to utilize resources. And a lot of people get stuck in the day-to-day grind, and they don't really think about abundance or all the resources available to them, or they really don't open up their mind to that. And so abundance is about thinking optimistically. You might be in a down period in your life right now, but there's a lot of resources out there, and you have to think positively to take advantage of them. And so this book is 7 steps, right? So what are the 7 steps? The 7 steps are: see the completed vision, which is number 1. 2 is cultivate congruent conditions. 3 is create the quantum plan. 4 is give what appears missing. 5 is act as if you're it. And 6 is embrace what appears broken. And 7 is wait on the law. And the first part of this book is visualize the situation you want to be in. And what Derek is saying here is that you need to visualize the life that you want to live, because in order for the real you to emerge, you have to visualize where you want to be in your life. So you actually have to do the work. And if you've listened to my previous reviews and the other self-help books on here, that's a lot of what they say, right? You have to do the work. So what is the real you? Have you visualized your life and what you want it to be? Or are you just consuming stuff? Are you just being a part of consumer society and doing what media tells you to do, what social media tells you to do? You have to think about the life you want to live and visualize it. And that's important for the rest of the book, because you need to visualize what your life is going to be like so you can surround yourself with things from that future life that you're going to live. But you also need to think about things. If you want a fancy car, do you want that fancy car because you actually want it, or because other people expect you to have that, or because you want to impress other people? You need to think about things like that in your life that don't serve you, and focus on the aspects of your life that will serve you. And he also says in this part of the book that we already have everything we need inside of us. You don't need things from the outer world. And that you get that a lot from other self-help books, that people look externally, but you already have everything you need internally, and you need to realize that. But there's also things you want to accomplish, or a lot of us want to accomplish. And I think this is just part of human nature. We're always trying to stay busy, and it's our nature to create things and to face adversity. So of course you're going to want to do things even though you're already emotionally complete the way you are. And then the next step is making your life congruent. So once you realize what you want, you need to make your life congruent. And that's another thing that this book talks a lot about is you can't keep doing what you're doing and expecting a different result. A lot of people say that's insanity, but it's true. If you keep doing the same things every day to make you unsuccessful, or you feel like you're unsuccessful, then how is your life ever going to get better? You need to create congruent conditions. You have to activate your vision by feeling and being in your vision. You can't be miserable every day and expect your life to change or for you to be happy. You have to do things to make yourself happy, or you have to visualize happy things. And I think that's what sets this book apart, is it has you visualize your future and it tells you how important that is. And if you just create your own vision, or actually think about what your vision for yourself is, then you might start creating the conditions to help you achieve success. And then this book also suggests to take moments throughout the day in this area to meditate and be grateful for what you do have. You need to be grateful, be happy, enjoy your life in order to live a more fulfilled life. And then after that, you have to create a plan. And this is where you sit down and you break up your life goal into a plan. And he suggests doing this in your 1-year timeline, because a lot of us overestimate what we can get done in a year and underestimate what we can get done in 5 years. And this is also what Tony Robbins says in his book. And the author here tells you to break down your goals into a 1-year timeline. And I'm going to say something here, because there's a lot of books that talk about this. And some people say that you shouldn't set goals because they keep you in this constant state of failure. Because if you're not achieving your goals, you feel like you're failing. Like, I'm reading a book right now called Irresistible, and talks about the problem with goals in there. Scott Adams, in his books, talks about how goals will also make you think you're in constant failure. But if you read this book and want to follow the path that the author lays out, then you have to set up goals and timelines for yourself to achieve the life that you want to live. You have to, in order to emerge. And the way he recommends doing this is by working to your goal and then working backwards. And we've gone over this in other books as well. So there's your ultimate goal, and you have to break it up into little pieces. And another book that brought this up was Instant Millionaire. And in there, that's financial goals. So just depending on the self-help author, some of them will have you set goals and some of them won't. If you want to try the goal method, then he has something in here for you to work on. And then another one of the steps is act as if you're it. And what he means here is you have to act as if you're already in that environment. For example, if you want a successful relationship, you should keep an open spot on your bed, he says. You should act as if that person's going to be next to you pretty soon. Because he says it's not always about taking action. Sometimes it's just about being open to the universe, and those things will come to you. And that's one of the unique things I think was in this area of the book, was that being open to experiences. Because I feel that way sometimes in life, that opportunities come to you that will change your path in life. It's not necessarily always up to you. And that's where a lot of people get stressed out, because they put too much ownership on themselves. So that's something else I got out of this book. And then the final chapters of this book really just reiterate what he talked about previously in the book. And he also recommends giving away money, time, and gifts. Even though you might not have everything yourself, it's that giving away that's going to open opportunities up. And that's what Jen Sincero says too, and a lot of other self-help authors, that you have to keep giving. You can't be only taking, because that really isn't living from abundance, right? That's a big thing about abundance, is you have to view the world as infinite and view resources as infinite. So that's something to think about as well. And he also has other books about abundance as well. This isn't his only book. And I also wrote down some pros and cons of this book. Some of the pros I wrote down about this book is that it has a great overview of abundance. It has thorough exercises. There's new idea around visualizations that you can take advantage of. There's new ideas around embracing who you are that I haven't really seen in other places. And there's also different perspectives on many self-help concepts. For example, this book rejects the law of attraction. Even though abundance might sound like the law of attraction, he rejects it and provides a more substantial overview of abundance. And then some cons about this book is he speaks about spiritual practices a lot, but he doesn't really give an overview of his meditation practice or spiritual practice. And then a lot of the exercises in this book can be very repetitive. It's like one of those books where it has a lot of exercises and it just seems like you're doing the same ones over and over again. So that's another disadvantage of this book. But overall, I like this book and I recommend you read it. And overall, my recommendation is I think this book is pretty good. It teaches you the basics of abundance and gets you to open yourself up and look at spirituality and look at the world from an abundant viewpoint. Because if you really do step back in your life and you look at the world, you realize how abundant it is, how many opportunities there are for you if you're just able to tap into them and you actually believe in it. Versus if you keep doing what you're currently doing, then you're going to get what you currently get, unless you get really lucky. But if you look at the world as abundant, then you'll approach it that way and you'll take advantage of opportunities that come your way. So I really like this author. It's really good and I recommend this book, but also just check out Derek Rydall because you could find a lot of interesting information. I believe he has a podcast as well. So if you want to get future self-help book recommendations and reviews, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video and comment down below if you want to. Thanks for watching.